Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Hands podcast. I almost said the Water Boys, but that would be true because alongside me, James, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, son. How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing good. 2 weeks without Henry, life only gets better and better. So
I know he's going to ruin it by coming home, isn't he?
yeah. I think he should be on next week. So we'll have to. At least we can keep bumping up our community hours that we need to serve when he gets back.
Surely working with Henry is tax deductible.
Yeah. In fact, I think they pay us to do it. We just claim it on the NDIS.
Viv pays an hour.
Guys, I need him to have friends so he doesn't spend all this time with me. That backfired though, because he still doesn't hang out with us. So anyway, Supercoach. Supercoach episode this week. I am flying. The podcast is flying in terms of Supercoach for this week. Our season rank is 42,000, which is not great. To put it,
I'm 48,000.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. So we really are in the shitter, aren't we? If we're only 6k above you.
Well, my league wins are going very well.
Yeah. Typical Roosters. Just get a soft draw, but it is what it is. We'll win when it counts. You don't win comps in what month is it? April.
Yeah.
No. Can you see my team?
No.
On Discord.
I don't know. Oh, yep. Oh, now
perfect.
Now I'm now watching the stream. Yeah,
Nice.
There's a couple of technical difficulties there, given it is my first time on the computer.
Yeah, I'm surprised you called it a computer. Something like you'd probably say a typewriter with a screen.
Yeah, man, this modern technology is crazy for us boomers.
Yep. Anyway, I did okay. I got 1367. Oh, this is the podcast team. Henry's sister's team. Connor Watson, decent in the pack. Terrell May, did he get a try? I think that might be without a try.
He scored. He got a try.
Okay, cool. Let me also get Supercoach stats open because you can't do Supercoach without this god of a website. For anyone who's new, this website is your bread and butter.
Scroll down. I don't want to can the website, but
that's not my fault.
Oh, of course it isn't. What round are we going into? Because I was on it not that long ago.
The guy who does the website was on holiday, so he put a post up saying
okay.
He won't be able to update it till now. So now it's fully updated, yeah.
Oh, cool, yep. Because, you got me onto it earlier. I was like, this is unbelievable. And then I reckon that was the week before you went away.
I gave you a taste of heroin and then just took away your supply.
And I was like, where is this? It hasn't updated. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to make trades. I had no idea, but...
Yeah. Well, look, what I did last week was I used the price change calculator and just put in last week's score for the guys, and then it gave like a rough estimate.
Yeah.
But obviously you don't get like base stats and all that sort of stuff there. But he's back, or she's back. They're back. And also, I don't think we say this enough, but there is a donate button here that if you are in a position to donate, do it, because I love this website and I don't want it to get shut down.
I'll also put out my details if anyone wanted to donate.
Yeah, I'll put a link in our bio to your PayPal. But no, this is the team. Very happy that Nafahu White's made a comeback. He's looking juicy.
Comeback. He's a form front row of the comp.
Nah, he got like 40 last week. Yeah, 37. No good. But he's come back. No real fires in this team because, like, I'm not trading Azarko just because I've lost a bit of cash and he's always good to get up there. So I'm just going to hold him for now. I don't think he's going to play Origin. I'm happy with the halves. Happy with the halfback.
Because he's a Kiwi.
Oh, yes. Yep. Yep. Oh, man, I should have... Yep. Thank you for that.
You're like the Canberra Raiders fan page on Twitter who goes, should Seb Chris be the Origin centre for New South Wales?
All I'm saying is...
Kiwis, so no, he shouldn't because he's not eligible.
Maybe Matty Nicholson is better than Jacob Preston and should be in the Origin team. Just...
Yeah. Can we also get a time machine and bring back Adrian Morley, because that sounds about as realistic as
Yep.
everyone else is suggesting.
Uh-huh.
Or, as we saw on Twitter today, Toby Couchman.
I think people, when they say these things, they don't actually know who's in the team or who's a potential. They'll just hear Jacob Preston or Toby Couchman having a good season, get him into Origin, and then you look at the team and you're like, where? Right? They should play City Country.
Yeah.
That's the type of footy they're playing. And in a couple of years, maybe they play Origin. Like Terrell May.
But it's also
last year,
good season.
Yeah, exactly. But last year,
Like,
Terrell May was like, get him in Origin. And then we were like, no, next year maybe. And now look at him. He's now playing Origin footy.
Yeah. But it's like, to find good season, I would say, like, I would say Marky Mark's having a good season. Doesn't mean he should play Origin. Like, if they're having a good season for them, it doesn't mean they're having an Origin-worthy season.
Yeah, and that's it, right? Like, you got to look at what the baseline is for Origin and then say, look, they're having a good season. And I'm sure if you put it's like the Cronulla spine. I'm sure if you put one of them in the team, they'd do a job.
Yeah. Well, unless it's Nico, because we've seen him not be able to do that.
Oh no, I mean like Couchman and Preston. You put them on the bench, they'll probably do a job. But like they're not Origin standard yet in terms of out and out every week. Oh, sorry, every year they're in the 17. But look, it's a great Supercoach episode so far, isn't it?
It is. We're the Supercoaches of Origin.
We are, yeah. And when Henry's back, we've got a backlog of podcasts we need to record, because it's kind of annoying me that, like, because I really want to talk about certain things, but I'm not, because I don't want to waste all my ammo in the group chat. But yeah, when he gets back, we'll do like a 3-hour session, just get some episodes out. But what people are here for is Supercoach. Look, no fires as of yet in my team. There's a few trade outs that I'm looking at. Royce Hunt is burning a hole in my team, but that DMP makes me happy. He was
burning a hole in your team like 3 weeks ago when we were talking about this.
Yeah, sorry, in the podcast team. I got rid of him from my team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the podcast team. No one else really. Like, I know Toya might be a sell soon. Shibasaki's got a break even of like 50, but he scored 55 last week. And who does he have? Oh, the Bulldogs. It's that Suncorp. Like, I can hold him for another week just in case he gets a double or something, even though the Bulldogs are a very tough matchup. Best defense in the comp. So I'm considering holding trades. I'm considering Dylan Lucas and Billy Smith as a buy. But if we're getting to the point of the season now where you don't need to jump on every cheapie. And if you look at the Dragons team, they've got that winger whose break even this week I think might be 40 odd. Let's have a look for now, I think. Yeah, his break even's 40. So you can watch and wait. And he's only played one game, so it doesn't even matter what his break even is. So don't get him now. Just wait a little bit. See how he goes. And then you can bring him in instead of Billy Smith. Like, you don't need to jump on every cash cow. So those are the decisions that need to be made for the podcast team. I'm happy with the pack. Next week, I'm probably going to start looking at bringing in buy players, because as you can see here, there's only 4 games to go till the buy rounds happen. Who was I just about to look at? Tapani. Tapani is probably king of that list if you've already got Naf White. So he should drop a little bit, hopefully. And then I'd probably be gearing up to get him here in round 10 or 11. Who for? I don't know yet, because there's Payne Haas, Tino, Terrell, maybe Horsburgh, maybe Olakuatu are going to play Origin.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I might actually need to sell one of them for cash during the buy period.
Well, I would say all 4 of those blokes pay. Olakuatu won't, but Horsburgh, May, Tino and Haas, if fit, and Connor Watson would play Origin too.
Yeah.
Your pack would be decimated.
Yeah. And
they better hold on to Royce Hunt.
and that's it, right? Like, there's a lot of people would be in the same boat. So I'm probably going to hold Cleary over Origin. I'm probably going to hold Munster.
Mine's even worse, because I have all those guys plus Angus Crichton.
Yeah, wow. So that's the tough part. making the decision on who to drop is probably the hardest part, which is why I'm considering punting Olakau'atu for Dylan Lucas this week. Just to does Olakau'atu, if he doesn't play Origin, damn it. So, and this is where it gets annoying. If Olakau'atu doesn't play Origin, he's really valuable for round 12. So as much as I want, like Lucas has like a 20 break even this week, you probably want to get him in if you're going to get him. But now I've got to find somebody else.
Hamoli Olakau'atu's break even's 110, so he's going to lose cash next week.
Yeah, but if he plays round 12, I'm going to hold him anyway, right? Like cash is, I've realised this, like cash is pretty easy to come by this year. Like I could literally go Hubner to Lucas. And it's not going to make a difference. And Kane Bradley's on the wing for the Storm. There's another cheapie option. Like, it's just cheapies out the arse this year. So I might, just to put a trade up, I might just do that. Lockie Hubner out, Dylan Lucas in. Let's just have a look at Hubner to make sure. Yeah, break even at 52. He might.
But he also failed his HIA, so he won't play this week.
Yeah, exactly. So you just punt him out and then... But like, there's no one else who I might want to trade, right? Because Dylan Egan's got cash to make. White is scoring points and good for the bye period.
Kiwi.
Yeah, Nicholson and Horsburgh. I'm not ready to sell them yet. Horsburgh's... Like, a lot of people are thinking of getting rid of Horse because of his minutes. But if you look at what he's been doing this year... His max minutes are 60. He's usually hovering 50 to 60 anyway. He played 48 last week. Like, I'm not too concerned. I'm not saying he's a keeper, but he was never a keeper. He was always just to get you through until you have more cash. So if he plays Origin, I'll sell him. If he doesn't, I'll keep him for 12 and then probably sell him for 15 and never look back. So that's the only trade I've done this week. We'll probably do your trades, my trades for my personal team, and then just do captains and matchups at the end. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you want to share screen?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well.
You're trying to work out how to do that on a laptop?
No.
Let's go back to home just to see. Yeah, 1367.
Is that working?
Top 1%. Yeah, I just got to pull it up for the recording. There we go. Can you zoom in a little bit, please? Control plus will do that. There we go. Thank you.
So here is my team. I've never regretted a trade more in my life than trading out Starling and bringing in Verrill.
Yeah, well. Great.
Yeah. Happy with my pack if there was no such thing as Origin and buys.
Oh, you got on Hugo.
Yeah, that was literally because he was a bargain basement.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well, I mean, all he needs to do is get a try, right? And he'll make you 100k.
Yeah, so I literally bought him as I literally needed someone at bargain basement price. I bought in Terrell May last week, so really happy with that. brought him in. He got 102. Happy with my pack. Obviously, we'll need to do some stuff like, as I said, like May's a chance, but Tino, Payne, Brighton, and I'd say Horsburgh are all locks to play Origin. With May probably, I'd give him a 70% chance.
Yeah. The spanner with May and Horse is the coaches and their selections.
Yeah.
But
so I'm thinking about bringing in David Fafita because we know Billy won't pick him even if he's the only man available.
Oh, mate, Billy's the type of person who's going to pick him on the bench because Fafita's been playing on the bench this year and forget about everything he said last year.
Even though he's out for 5 weeks with a hamstring injury.
Fafita? Isn't he named this week?
I thought he was out for 5 weeks with a hamstring.
That was the initial report, and then I swear I thought I saw somewhere that he got named this week. I haven't actually looked. I've got the team list coming up now for the podcast.
No. Oh, he's named on the bench.
Yeah, there he is. 14. It's and then he's got Chris Randall at starting second row. Like, I reckon he won't play, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't actually know what the go is there. I'd just be
Yeah,
very
solid.
careful about anything going
Yeah.
on there. Just keep an eye out for final teams.
Munster and Cleary, Mahab, they'll both play Origin, unfortunately. I don't like my back, but no one's really given me. I brought Ethan King in last week because he was as cheap as I could get. I needed someone to get the Terrell May trade through, so I just brought him in because he was as cheap as I needed. Like I'm happy with my backs, but I'm not happy with my backs. But whenever I think if you don't perform this week, you're gone next week. Someone scores decent.
Yeah, like Ben Trbojevic.
Yes, Ben Trbojevic. Even though I do like him because he's dual positioned, and he's last name Trbojevic, so his job security is excellent.
How much cash have you got? 89.
90 grand.
Yeah. I think this week you've got to get in Billy Smith. And I know that's going to give you too many Roosters players, but you've got to make some money. No, not for him. You don't have the cash for it.
Yeah, but what if I also get rid of Hubner?
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
you can just type his name in.
No, I don't like that. Smith.
Yeah. And then you've only got 377. You could go early on. Yeah. Who's Kane Bradley in for? Will Warbrick with concussion. He was out for a while.
Like you've got that Lecker.
He's on the bench now.
Yeah, but he goes good. He's averaging 42. Bring back Jack Jajewski.
Like my thing is, he's not going to make enough money, and he's now on the bench. He's going to average less than 42 because he was starting for a bit to get his average up. I'd consider going early on the Dragons winger. Go to your wing, see if you can sub someone in.
Well, yeah, I can move Ben.
Yeah, move Ben and then get the Dragons winger. Sione for now.
But yeah, what's his job security like there?
Who's he in for? Let me check. I think he's got like 3 to 5 games in.
Because he's in for Tui Palotu.
He was a hamstring. It was like 4 weeks.
But you've also got a fee guy to come back.
He got injured as well. Yeah. Vigo got injured as well. Yeah, Matt Figo's got a broken leg, so he's not an issue.
That helps.
And it's the big bone in the leg, so it's not like a quick comeback. Chewy Pilotu, why are they giving me a Scotland captain? Sione Chewy Pilotu. Google has gone to shit. Like before, if you typed in Tui Pilotu injury, they just give you what you're looking for, and like these days they just give you random stuff. Anyway, that's my rant over. Scans for a return to play date. I would go for now. I think you have to. You just don't have the money for anything else.
No, and that I actually make money on that one.
I'd consider also holding Ethan King.
What for?
Just don't have any money. Like trade out, probably not Mark, probably not Toya, probably not Jenkins. So you got no one to trade out. Jack Howarth isn't playing, but then he's also not making you much more money.
No.
Because like the
what
issue
happened to Jack
with he's injured. Pretty sure. Didn't he get concussed last week or shoulder injury? I forget what.
I don't know. Melbourne annoy me. They make me cranky, so I don't watch them.
Why is Jack Howarth out? Let's have a look. I swear he did something to himself.
So you reckon?
Dislocated shoulder.
Do that. And then that gives me... So get rid of Jack Howard and keep Ethan King.
Well, you've got 2 players who aren't playing. One is worth 447 and the other is worth 232.
Yeah.
So why would you hold Howarth instead?
Because he at least will come back and play.
Okay, that's a great point, but let's find out a few things. So I've got it on the podcast. I'm sure you can get up Supercoach stats for Jackie Howarth in a bit. So he's score. Let's say he's got the bye in round 15. He's going to miss
And a
one,
bye
two,
in round
three,
12.
4. Yeah, so he maybe comes back for the Titans, plays the Cowboys, and then he's out again. So do you really want to hold him for 2 months for 2 games?
Yeah.
And
But
is
if I
he a
hold
keeper?
Ethan King, if I hold him for, you know what I mean? Like he's he's not going to get any game time in any of those games where Jack Howarth is.
Yeah, but
So
he's
that's
worth
2 games for
232.
Howarth.
So I wouldn't have got Ethan King anyway.
I had to get Terrell May.
Yeah, I know, but like it's who was the cheapie last week? I forget who the cheapie was last week, but it's more. Well, you've got him now. What's the best way to handle it? And it's what do you gain by trading him out?
Yeah. Well, so if I bring in Billy Smith, I've just got too many Roosters.
I know that's a big issue. And when do they have the bye actually? Let me have a look. Because when they have the bye, you're screwed. But
Yep.
we always knew your team.
In 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks. Let me just go to the draw then.
So we played Dragons this week, Dolphins, and then we got the bye.
Can you confirm trades? And then let's have a look at what your team looks like in 2 weeks.
So you want me to run with Howarth and Hubner for Smith and Finau?
I would. I'm probably not going to trade Howarth out in my team, but in next week, if you need to get a gun in and you've got $90,000, you're not going to be able to do it without boosting
Yeah.
or then getting another Ethan King in. Like it's
Yeah.
just going to cycle and snowball into you constantly having to bring in these shit kickers, like Zavala and King, to fund Terrell May. Whereas now, if you want Terrell May next week, you get Terrell May next week with 1 trade instead of 2, and you don't have to get in Ethan King.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Like you're not always going to bank 300k, but it's good to have it if you can get it, and there's no real downside. Like 2 games of Jack Howarth. If it was 2 games of Nathan Cleary, maybe, but even Nathan, I'd probably sell, and then if I really want him, I'd get him back. Do you want to sub out all your Roosters players and let's see what you're running with for round 2 rounds from now? Because that could be a reason not to get Billy Smith. Yep. Gonna say you'll be running short in the center wing. Fuck, you have a lot of Roosters.
That's it. So I'll be running 1 short in the center wing.
Yeah.
So
And
I've just got to address that by.
Yeah, and by then you could probably, hopefully, you could either trade Billy Smith. Keep Billy Smith because you'll play the buys. Maybe Ethan King if you get the money. Rob Toya if you get the money. Scroll up. I would consider selling Angus Crichton as well.
The boss. Oh.
Because so go to stats, Supercoach stats, and then go to Crichton. So assuming he plays Origin, if you scroll down to the bye period, he misses 12. He's going to back up for 13. He misses 14. He misses 15. He's going to back up for the Cowboys. He misses 17. He misses 18, and then he backs up in 19. He plays 3 games over that period, and they're all backing up.
I play Supercoach emotionally, not smartly. It's all about emotions for me.
And that's why you're talking to me, mate. That's why everyone listens to this podcast, because we've got you and Henry. You're emotional. Henry's inexperienced. And then you got me, who's going to coach one of you to a win, and I'm going to be ranked like 20,000 that year. But so that's where you don't have to do it next week. But Gus is a trade out for me for you because you do have too many Roosters. So in round 12 or in round 10, sorry, when you guys have the bye, I'd be punting Gus.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Angus
I
Crichton
feel
for
like
everyone
he's coming.
listening.
I feel like he's coming into form.
He is, but then he's going to play the Bulldogs, who have great defence.
We
He'll
will
get in.
crack him, mate. We killed Penrith.
Yeah, but
We
then what?
started the rot for Penrith. They'd
Yeah.
won 4 comps in a row, undefeated in round 1. Round 2 comes, and we give it to them. We'll crack the Bulldogs. They'll be undefeated till we play them, and we'll beat them.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. But so my reasoning there is, when the Roosters have the bye, Angus goes, you bring in a bye-friendly
So
player.
I'd almost think about doing a double trade and getting rid of Crichton and King.
It just depends on how much money you've got and who the options are to trade in.
Yeah.
So like, if next week, let's say next week there's a good cheapie on offer in the centre wing, I'd punt King straight away. If you don't have any other fires to do, right? The only reason we're holding King is to give you some more money next week. Because Ethan King instead of Howarth, they both should go, but we've gone Howarth early now, so you've got more money to play with. And then when the opportune time comes, you sell King for whoever you can.
I'm also like not happy with my hooker rotation, but
Neither.
also like, what am I supposed to do?
I
can't see anything that works.
I have no idea, and that's a good segue into my team. And we can go back to your team if you're not done, but it's a great segue into my team.
For this week, I'm done. I'm actually quite happy with the trades I made.
Yeah.
But I'm not happy with probably a couple of trades in the previous weeks.
Yeah.
That have like where I've
I've
had to jam
they're
a
not
fucking kicker.
They're not optimal, but you got into Terrell May, you got 100 and something, so
Yeah.
you know. I want to sell Tom Starling.
Well, I sold him a couple of weeks. I went probably early on him and brought in the wrong person.
Because he got 28 in 62 minutes last week.
Oh, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I think the week after I dropped him, he got 77. And
yes, he's got the Dolphins at home, so I could hold him for another week. Then he's got Melbourne away. Then he's got the Bulldogs. So I either sell him after the I either sell him in the next 2 weeks or I hold him for the bye round. And I was wanting to sell him, but there is no one at hooker. There's
Nah, that's what I struggled with. That's how I ended up with Sam Verrill.
Like for you, I would say, Connor Watson, but he plays Origin, and he's got a shit. And for Roosters players, if they play Origin, they're a shit bye round option. If they don't play Origin, they're a great bye round option. But you've also got too many Roosters anyway.
Yeah, I've also got too many to begin with. So not optimal.
No, exactly.
Got to optimize things. Got to be optimal.
100%. Got to get in the not top 1% isn't good enough. You got to be top 1%. Cam McInnes is averaging 4th highest at hooker. What the hell is going on this year? Supercoach needs to change some things to make the point scoring a bit different. Because hooker's just a wasteland. Like even Harry Grant's been a spot.
Remember the day where you just picked Cam Smith, even though you know he's going to play Origin, and just like, who cares?
Yeah. Those were the days. Those were the good days. Like it used to be like, Cam Smith, Paul Gallen, Corey Parker. Who else? Anthony LaFranchi, Shaun Fensom. You probably don't know this because you probably weren't playing fantasy back then.
No.
But yeah, sorry, I realised I wasn't sharing my screen, and I am now. Let me just make this bigger for you as well. There we go. So there aren't many options. Harry Grant's injured. Who's playing hooker for Melbourne? Is it Wishart? Might be Wishart. Let's have a look. Where is
I should have looked at that when I looked at how. I was looking at their team.
Yeah. Bronson Garlick.
Oh,
yeah. Is he a ginger as well?
No.
That's funny. That's a good joke, isn't it?
Darlow's pies.
Ah.
Yeah, I missed your joke. My bad.
His last name's Garlic, so I asked if he's a ranger, because ginger. 41 points last week in 51 minutes. Break even of 14, and he's 258. Don't sleep on Bronson Garlic. Wow. He's got a point per minute of almost 1. Is there someone on the bench? Is Tyron Wishart going to come in to hooker for a lot of
Yeah,
minutes?
probably.
If you don't get Garlic this week, I would keep an eye on him. I might get Garlic this week. He doesn't
Nah,
play
because Harry
12.
Grant's back in a week or two.
Is that it? I thought he was
Yeah.
out for a while.
Originally, they were like it's 5 to 7, but it's actually like 2 to 3.
I'm getting really annoyed with all this dodgy injury reporting, especially from the Titans. Like Fafita's meant to be out forever. 2 games with a hamstring strain. Damn it.
Just quickly, Pistol P. Bedell is reporting that Jamal Fogarty will join Manly next year.
3 years, $550 a season. I think I would sign that contract, and I think Manly are good to offer it. It's a
Yeah.
bargain. Who is Jamal Fogarty's manager? Because he's doing a shit job.
100%.
Jamal, come on over. We'll sort you out for your NRL contract. Jake Agency can sort you out for all the off-field sort of sponsorships and stuff. There you go. A little shout out to Jake Agency.
Yeah. There we go. We got it covered.
Plugs
But,
galore. If you want to sponsor the podcast, anyone, that's the kind of plugs you can expect.
Mm.
What were you going to say? Sorry, but like...
If you want to sponsor the podcast, you got to go through James at Jake Agency.
Also, no, you're not getting a double invoice, mate.
Wouldn't be paying Jamal Fogarty $1.3 million, but to play halfback, I would pay him more than I'd pay Dylan Brown.
Oh shit! Yeah. All I can do is say yeah again, because if you I know what you mean, and if we've got to give 1.3 to anyone, and the choices are not anyone, the choices are Brown or Fogarty, I'm saying Fogarty. I don't think we should give him 1.3. But if that's the choice, that's what I'm doing. So
Jamal Fogarty and Daly Cherry Evans are changing clubs next year, and you've decided to pay Dylan Brown $1.3 million to play halfback.
And this is
Newcastle is on fire.
And this is my issue, right? Like we didn't 10 years is too long, and 1.3 is too much.
Mm-hmm.
You could do one of those things, and I'd be less mad. Still mad. I'd be like, why did we pay Dylan Brown $800 for 10 years, right? Or why did we pay Dylan Brown 1.3 for 3 years? We did both, and you don't need to do both to sign anyone, right? Like you could give DCE 1.3 for 2 years, and he'd sign. You could give Jamal 1.3 for 2 years, and he'd sign. They're old, so you probably don't give them 10 years, but if you gave them 4 years, Jamal probably signs, and DCE probably says, no, I can make $1 million plus, so you need to match the $1 million plus. But do you know what I'm trying to say? Like we didn't need to do that for Dylan Brown. I don't know why we did, and it makes me very worried about the club. Anyway, if Bronson Garlic plays 2 more games and gets 50 in each of those, he makes $70K. Probably not worth the trade. Unless you need... The only way I'd trade him in then is if you need to downgrade Tom Starling or somebody else at hooker to upgrade somewhere else. Is Garlic not available at hooker? Have I just talked about this for no reason? That'll be like something I would do. Ooh, that's how you spell Garlic. He is available at hooker. Cool. Okay, yeah. So getting Garlic if you need a downgrade, like if you were James last week, Garlic would be a good option. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't do it. It's probably not enough money unless he scores the try. Apart from that, have I already made a trade? I've already made a trade. See, I can't help myself. I went Shibasaki to Billy Smith. I might cancel that.
What are you going to do instead?
I don't know. What's Ayongi's break even? Is he good to go? I just don't like him in my team. He's got a break even of 53, but he plays 12, and he's got... When this 25 drops out, he's going to make some more money again. I don't know. I could trade Jack Howarth to Billy Smith. There's an option. Yeah, boom.
Yeah. Who hasn't thought of trading Jack House out for Billy Smith?
Mm,
Like seriously.
there you go. Jack Howarth. Why is Billy Smith the one I'm trading out? What the fuck? Smith stays, Howarth goes, Shibasaki comes back in. There we go. And so that's how you do it. And this won't cost me a trade. So if I go cancel, and I'll show it again, I've got one trade left. Hopefully this works, otherwise I look like an idiot. I'll trade Jack Howarth. Because Shibasaki was in my team this week, if I do this, if Supercoach is good, pretty sure this won't cost me a trade. There we go. Doesn't cost me a trade. Because the website now recognizes that I've essentially just gone Jack Howarth to Billy Smith in a roundabout way, and I'm bringing back somebody I already owned at the start of this week. So that's a little time saver for everyone there for you. Instead of having to reverse every trade you've done and all the captain changes and all that sort of stuff, you can just do that, and everything else will stay the same. I think...
Wonderful.
Hey? Did I just bore you to death?
No, I just said wonderful.
Yep. In terms of my 17 this week, I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, either do I now. I've got to go back and have a look at my team, considering you made me afraid of all my Roosters player.
Yeah. So it'll be Marzu. I'll probably put him in, even though he's against the Warriors away. Who's Tamale got? Dolphins at home, you'd play him. Kiraz, you got to play. Garrick, you got to play because they're guns. Ponga, I have to play against the Warriors away. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I'd probably reserve Metcalf against the Knights, mate. I might captain Metcalf against the Knights. Actually, that's...
Well, I was working out who I'm going to put as my fourth.
Well, do you want to share screen and do it on the pod? Because I thought we were going to talk through it, but if you're just going to go and do it.
Okay, yep. Share.
Holding out to all the faithful listeners. They're interested to see and they want to learn, and you're just taking that away from them.
What I do? Alright, can you see my screen?
Yeah, but I think I'm looking at my screen.
Oh, come on, mate.
I was like, this is my team. Why is this here? Yeah, I can see your screen. Zoom in a bit, please. Thank you. I love that you use Control Zoom instead of just Control Plus.
No, I just do it on the
trackpad.
Touchpad.
Yeah.
Just spread my fingers.
Spread your finger.
And I'll spread them. Well, obviously, I'm going to run with Mamazula. I don't know. Who do the Titans play?
Yeah, who do the Titans play? Let me have a look. I think it's a Queensland team.
Cowboys.
In Townsville, right?
Yes, in Townsville, and South playing Melbourne on Anzac Day. So I'm actually going to play Verrills.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a bit of a up between Storm and the Bunny.
I wouldn't be surprised, actually, now that we're talking about Verrills, if the Titans either bench Chris Randall or shift him to hooker for a bit and then play for feeder for like 60 minutes. I'd still play Verrills, but just keep an eye out.
I will be... they both play... South play first, though. That's the only thing. South play Friday. Gold Coast don't play till 5:30 Saturday.
That's a tough one. Well, maybe South play Friday, Gold Coast play Saturday.
Yeah,
before that game kicks off, you'll...
Friday, yep.
Yep.
Yep. See if there's any changes to the hour squad.
Yep.
Quite happy with my front row. Doesn't really matter who starts, who doesn't. They're all playing.
Well, it does, but we'll do that at the end.
Why does it matter?
I'll tell you at the end.
Happy with my back row.
Yeah, who do Manly play?
Manly, Penrith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not good.
Happy with that. Only reserving him. I didn't know who to put my fourth reserve on. Saw that he was playing Newcastle and said, "Yep, that'll do me."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that he was playing Newcastle and I put the vice captaincy on him.
Yeah. I'm going to captain Payne because Payne plays in the first game.
You're gonna vice
Munster
captain Payne, you mean?
Yeah, vice captain
Yep.
Payne because he's playing the first game. My backs though, so I'm happy with obviously Tedesco and Ponga.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously have to. I only got to buy. Here's why I'm confused. Mark, I'm going to keep Mark. Mark's been the most consistent. So do I put Purdue in?
I would put Purdue in against the Titans for someone. They could, all your Roosters players could go off, but I'm just a little bit risk averse. I'd want to spread. I'd want to spread around who I play and who I don't. I would actually also play Tom Jenkins over Rob Toyer as well. Or like
Yeah,
I wouldn't play Tom Jenkins over Rob Toyer. I would play Tom Jenkins instead of one of your Roosters players. Which one is up to you?
probably Toya.
Finau, yeah, you can play two. You can play two. Two's fine.
He's going to be with two. So, yeah, I need to split up Mark and Toya because they're going to be on the same side. Because Billy Smith will be left centre with Toops, and then Toya and Mark are going to be the right-sided centre wing combo.
Yeah.
And
So you've split the sides now.
Toya scored a try last week and only got 58.
Yeah, that's not great. Look, Toya's probably going to score 150 now, but I would play two
Toya's
and
going to
bench
score a
him.
hat-trick, 4 intercepts, a couple of try system mark. He'll do try. Who will that be? That'll be Siwa Wong. He'll do inside balls to Siwa Wong, not marking the one needed to Wazi now.
Mm.
And then the rest of my team is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. So if you go back to your props, sorry.
Potentially may captain Nathan. Just depends how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I mean he's got Manly, right? But I also feel like Manly are due, but the team's kind of crap at the moment.
Yeah. So my props.
The reason it matters is you should on the starting field should be the people who play earlier, which I think you've got.
Well, Payne obviously plays the first game, and then then it'll be Tino. Tino plays before the Sharks.
Yeah. So if you just pause here,
because then if I substitute.
Yeah, but if you sub it back for a second,
then they play each other.
Yeah, so sub it back, put Fanua Blake back on the field.
Mm.
Now this is weird because Terrell May and Fanua Blake play each other, but let's pretend that that's not the case. And Fanua Blake's ruled out. Tino's already played. What do you do?
Oh yeah.
Right, because you can't sub anyone. Because your bench players have already played. If May played earlier, right? That's why I said it's a bad explanation. But if your bench players have already played, you can't sub in and out. But if you sub Fanua Blake off, now you can just take the R off him, put it on Ben Trebojevic or Peter Mummers, like whoever you got left. And so it gives you that flexibility.
It is not a great example because they're both the last.
Yeah.
They play each other and they're the last game of the round.
Yeah. But you get the point, right? Like it's gives you that flexibility. So that's the only thing I'd say. The only thing that overrules that for me now is if I'm going to captain someone or if I'm not sure about someone. So if I'm tossing up between, so if you scroll down to your center wing, I might have the reserve on Rob Toyer, but I might not be sure. That doesn't mean I'm going to have Rob Toyer starting for Jackson Purdue, because when I make that decision, I might not have a lot of time before lockout, because this has happened to me before where I'm like, I'm gonna not play this person, and then I take the reserve off, I don't make my subs in time, and then I'm short, and it screws me over. So, but to simplify, just whoever's playing last gets the reserve, and whoever you want to start starts, because the points are the same.
I tell you what, though, he's a risk of being sold. That's for sure.
If he was 700k, I'd be selling him. Like, he plays Origin, he's going like a spud.
And with Walsh's injury, he's got to be the Queensland fullback, doesn't he?
I mean, even if Walsh was fit.
Oh, I agree with that. The thing is, he's going to lose even more money next week.
Yeah. Or nah, he could hit it like it's Kalen.
I wouldn't be surprised if he hit 150.
Yeah. And
I mean,
then
it's the Warriors.
it's the
Who
Warriors
knows
away,
what
but
they're
then look
doing?
at the run after.
Oh, he'll carve. Chance of carving, carve. Probably score about 4.
You've always got Origin.
Good carve.
So
Yeah.
literally, his only tough matchup, the only yellow, is the bye round. 12, so he's not playing anyway.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I would consider buying him this week. My 2 cents. If you don't have Kalen, sub 600, he might lose a little bit more cash against the Warriors, but do you really want to risk it? Because he could also go 150. He's got Dylan Lucas back running off him. So, yeah, for anyone, yeah, Kalen's the big decision maker this year, I think. Or this round. Do you sell him? Do you keep him? Because he could still get 40s. But yeah, you could bring him in, get 40s, or you could bring him in and get average 120 up until Origin. But no.
I'm also looking to get rid of him.
Yeah, he'll be due soon. I'm thinking Jerome Hughes.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't play Origin.
Well, what have I got? I got 300 odd.
Mm.
What's Jerome?
7 maybe, but he's also probably going to drop. So if you go to Supercoach stats and get to his break even, because he was injured that game, remember?
Yeah.
So he's got. I'm hoping he has a high break.
What are these? What's 60?
So 60% of the time he gets more than 60. So we call that a 60-60 gun. So if somebody's got averaging 100,
I'll hover over it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody's averaging 100, but they go 20, 20,
by 100k.
Hey.
Oh, I'm just going over what are these break even equals average score plus 50 or be. So yeah, we've got a break even of 132.
Yeah. So I would wait a week. Scroll down. Let's see what his buy schedule looks like. He doesn't play 12. He doesn't play 15. Far out. That sort of screws me over because I literally wanted him for the buys. But also, it means he's no risk of because round 13 in the buy rounds, for people who don't know, you only need 13 players.
What do you mean?
In the buy rounds, only your top 13 out of your 17 contribute to your points.
Oh, they only really? I didn't play Supercoach this time. And
yeah, so last year they changed it. Before that, it was up to 17. It was normal, and then last year they changed it to 13, which also means round 13, round 16, and round 19, where people are backing up, and there's like 6 teams on the buy anyway, are sneaky difficult because you need 17. So that's just something to think about. If you are,
this is why you tune in. You get the good oil.
100%. So where is round 13? I'm just going to show the listeners who's got the buy. So there's 3 teams on the buy in round 13. Dogs, Finns, Sharks, and you've got to have 17 players. Versus however many you've got the week before, but you've only got to have 13. And you get the extra trade. So in 13, you'd get an extra trade that you can use without needing to boost. And you only need 13 players. And people usually plan for that round, right? And then they forget about the round after. So all things to think about.
Poddy is a shout. He won't play Origin. Plays 12.
He might.
Doesn't play 15. Plays 18.
Yeah. What's he been scoring? 60? He's probably a 60-point player.
63 he's been averaging.
I personally wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's because I look at that and I see Melbourne and the Dogs soon.
Not $20,000 as well.
Yeah, Melbourne and the Storm scare me off that. but it's definitely a good shout. Yeah, Nico.
Going to Manly.
Yeah, that's so weird how that's happened. Like the whole thing, like us getting Brown, Manly getting Fogarty, and DCE leaving. Like, how does all three of those things should not have happened? Specifically Brown.
Yeah.
DCE leaves Manly. Okay, fine. We get DCE, they get Fogarty. That's anyway. It shows how much
Well,
how little.
It's odd. Like it just shows you how dumb some teams are. Like,
Yep. I literally had someone today ask me like, why do players sign with, like, stay with agents like Isaac Moses? And like I explained it through, they get shitload of money and players don't care about anything except playing footy. Right? Galvin really didn't care before like all this stuff happened. He was like, he probably told Moses, I'm leaving the Tigers, I still want to play footy and I want to get paid for it.
Yeah.
Right? And then the other side of it is players get signed really young and you don't get a lot of development opportunities without an agent. It's really tough. So they feel indebted to the agent. So that's why they stay with them, because they feel like they wouldn't have played first grade without the agent getting them into some flag teams, getting them into some coaching clinics and that sort of stuff. So for anyone wondering, that's that. But also, clubs are stupid.
Yep.
That's why they sign these players. That's why they deal with these agents, because and a lot of club CEOs don't care. Like as a fan, you care so much. CEOs tend not to. Some do. Don't get me wrong. Like look at the Broncos. Ever since they got the Storm CEO, I forget his name. Is it Donaghy?
Donaghy. The who? No, he's the Broncos, isn't he?
Yeah, like he was at the Storm and then he went to the Broncos.
Yes, he was.
And he's doing really well for them both. He did really well for the Storm and he's doing well for the Broncos. Some CEOs are great. Most of them, like think about it, they're a corporate who signed a contract to get paid, is going to hit their bonus KPIs and then leave to another job. They don't actually give a shit. So that's why clubs do dumb things. Nepotism, and they don't care as much as most people. Anyway, I don't know why I went on that tangent. I just felt like I wanted to, because we're not doing a normal podcast this week. I had to get it out. Who are we looking at? Nico Hines. He plays around 12. He's 637k. Tigers, Parramatta, Manly. Thoughts? I know you don't like him. You're going to tell me not to get him, but
Oh, so he plays the Tigers, plays Power. Mitch Moses will show him up. Manly, anything can happen. Melbourne, he'll get smashed. Roosters, he'll get smashed. Then he has to buy. He plays the Warriors. Oh, look. He's got a break even at 96, so he's going to drop a bit. Oh, look. Yeah, sure, I guess.
I would consider him for Supercoach. Like for James to say, yeah, sure, I guess, to Nico Hines, that means he's a buy.
Well, he's never going to play Origin ever again. They will literally pick you from instead of him again.
At halfback, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got Moses, Luai, and Cleary all in front of him.
Yeah.
So there's an option for you at halfback. People, don't sleep on Nico Hines just because he's not making 120 every week.
What about? I don't know if what position he is. Let me just look him up before we look. Oh no, don't worry about it.
Who are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say Luai, but he doesn't play 12, doesn't play 15, and he's averaging 29 points. I don't know how he's going that bad.
Yeah, he's going like a spud, but he moved to 5'8" and got 41 last week. So.
And now he's back up.
Is he? Yeah. Well, there you go. Oh yeah, Galvin's back.
We went 54, 19, 20, 19, 21, 41.
Yep.
That's dreadful. Yeah, no, don't worry about that.
You reckon there's a clause in Galvin's contract? Need to play with a halfback who averages 60 in Supercoach.
Yeah. Sweet me.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me done.
What position does Ben Hunt play in Supercoach? What's he listed at?
Yeah, that's a good shout. Let me find it.
Because he's going to move
5'8".
to hooker real soon.
He's listed
only a
as only
5'8".
5'8", yeah.
No,
But when
never
if
mind
he
then.
does go to hooker instead of and move out for Ezra Mam, he'd be like 400k, making more tackles, probably playing 60 minutes a game
Yeah,
from hooker. Payne Haas running off him, Pat Carrigan running off him, Xavier Willison
yeah,
running off him. By then, probably Bentakura as well. Wow. Ben Hunt post Origin, get on.
yeah. Because he'll play Origin.
But yeah, after the Origin period, that might be the one too. Harry Grant, Ben Hunt, or Ben Hunt, Connor Watson could be a good little duo. Because Harry hasn't been doing a lot this year. Yeah. So that's me done.
Wonderful.
Any questions for your
That's me
team?
done.
That's you done. Perfect.
No, we sort of went through my team. I've sort of just got a couple of things I need to tidy up week to week to get ahead of things. You know, I've now got 300 grand in the bank. To probably look to bring in another gun somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't really know.
You're gonna
Origin's probably going to
look. You
screw
need to
me if I
emotionally
lose.
prepare for selling Angus Crichton in 2 weeks.
That's my biggest issue. Is yes, probably that.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back next week. The man himself, Henry, will hopefully be back as well. A bunch of
We sincerely apologise about that.
yeah. We apologise in advance. Hope you still tune in. Subscribe if you haven't already. That's something I haven't been saying. But mostly because I thought people aren't listening. But hey, apparently people are listening. You're gonna laugh when I say things are getting double-digit views, but that's more than single-digit views, which is what we were getting last year. So, yeah, subscribe if you haven't. We are on socials, mostly just commenting and replying on things. So, go through our replies, see what you don't like, what you don't agree with, and then yell at me for it. That's probably the way to do it. But yeah, we'll see you next week. Thank you, James.
Oh, that's offensive. Goodbye.
Okay, bye. I know I'm still recording. Give me a sec. Wow. This is going to be a good ending. There we go. Stop recording.